So we've learnt that. We've learnt that it's incredibly slow, our movement towards the truth. But let me give you one, sorry it's early in the day, and this is another very graphic example. Let me give you one example of how bad that slow movement towards the truth is. 30 years ago in my country, we had legislation put in place to make it illegal to carry out female genital mutilation. To date, there has not been one prosecution for this that's been successful. It took, indeed, until a couple of years ago to have any attempted prosecution for female genital mutilation. There have been, as I say, this has been on the statute books for 30 years, and tens of thousands of British girls have been mutilated in this way. Now, I remember 14 years ago or so when Ayaan Hirsi Ali started speaking about this in Holland and others started speaking about it in Scandinavia and elsewhere. I remember about 10 years ago I published a report on FGM in the UK. Throughout most of this time, this was still a culturally sensitive, as they say, subject to talk about. And it was a difficult one. You could feel it as you mentioned it in public. In the last few years, it's become a bit easier. The Evening Standard in Britain ran a campaign against FGM. The Mayor of London, Boris Johnson, joined the campaign. All sorts of politicians from across the political spectrum came out in support of the campaign against FGM. Let me put it to you like this. If you were to select a subject which should be the easiest subject in the world to get total political and popular support for, does anything get easier than saying we are against the mutilation of young girls' genitals with knives? I can't think of anything. That should be as easy as it gets. It should be a home run. And it's taken 30 years to even get it to being a legitimate political conversation, and one which has still had no practical repercussions. That, I would suggest, is a sign that if we are learning, we're really slow learners.